How's it going, guys? White Rabbit here. I came across something earlier today that I wanted to cover. I was thinking about making a full video about it on my main channel, but I decided to just do it this way instead and just kind of walk you through some of the observations that I've made on this particular musician. And point out what I believe to be the case, which is that this is another MK Ultra victim that the entertainment industry is utilizing to push whatever agenda it is that they're trying to push. And although this musician is not, very big right now, she's had one, big hit. She hasn't really become a big deal yet, but I do think that she probably will. And so it's something to be on the lookout for, I think. But anyway, the musical artist that I'm referring to is Aurora. Her debut album was Running with Wolves, and it was released, just a few months ago. But she's recently come out with this new album, and it's titled All My Demons Greeting Me as a Friend. Now, the reason I came across this individual to begin with is because she dropped a new music video today for this song, Conqueror, which led me to look more into her, and I was pretty shocked at what I found, and I'll get into that video here in a little bit. But to start off with, this is the girl I'm referring to, right? Her name is Aurora. Already you can see the symbolism here with her with a crow, right? But the other thing that is pervasive is her imagery of moths or butterflies, right? And we all know that that has associations with MK Ultra, especially in an image like this. I mean, to me that just screams MK Ultra victim, Monarch programming through and through. So, that was another red flag for me. I proceeded to go to her YouTube channel for her Vivo YouTube channel. And of course it's titled I Am Aurora. Okay, so we see the I Am before her name, and we all know the associations with that. That's a mockery of God, right? If you turn to Exodus 3:14, we see that God calls himself I Am. And God said unto Moses, I am that I am. Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am, hath sent me unto you. Because God is all that there is. And it's a very powerful statement. And so we see Luciferians love throwing that terminology out there. And we've seen this in albums all over the place. If you think back to Beyonce's album where she said, I am Sasha Fierce. Or this album, You Gotti, I Am. Or this Nas's album, I Am. Or Will I Am, right? So it's a very common theme throughout the music industry. I think Illuminati Watcher, or I can't remember the name of his channel, but somebody recently put out a video and they showed a ton of different albums. Oh, here's Alicia Keys, As I Am, right? Anyway, this guy put out a video. I'll try and find it and link it in the description, but he went through a bunch of these albums that do this. But yeah, so, another big red flag. So I started pulling up songs that she had sung, and I came across this one, which is called Awakening. It says, with a tiny rope and a bag of stones and all broken wishing bone, she's going in, she's going home. Oh, this little golden eye fighting heavy day. Behind the light, behind the light. Okay, so some very eerie symbolism there. Notice the golden eye reference, right? That's alluding to the third eye. You scroll down to the bottom towards the end of the song, and it says, and the stars were brightly shining, right? The bright morning star. Sound familiar? When she reached out, they were gone, and the water started calling, my child, please come home. Okay, and the water started calling. In ancient Babylonian mythology, the abyss was the watery abyss, right? That was where demons lived, in like the ocean or in the sea. You see a lot of that symbolism in the scriptures. For example, in Mark, I think it was, Mark 5? Let me see here real quick, hold on. So in Mark 5, when Jesus is talking with the Legion, and after he turns them into swine, a herd ran violently down a steep place into the sea. right? Why do you think they went into the sea? Because the sea was representative of the watery abyss, right? That was conceived of as hell, basically. So, you see a lot of symbolism like that in Scripture. But, okay, so we have the bright morning star, right, which is Lucifer. You have water started calling. So you have watery abyss symbolism. You have shiny lights hit her eye, third eye symbolism, climb towards the sky. Tower of Babel. Okay, so if we go back to her Vivo account here, I guess I'll talk about the video that I first came across, which was this one here. And it depicts her chained, right, in a room. And this room is kind of like the abyss, right, with the sand and the desolation. Chained at the ankles. And then she walks through this doorway into the light. There's your cube symbolism. So, yeah. There's that. And then the lyrics for the song say, broken mornings, broken nights, broken days in between. Open ground, the sky is open, makes an open sea. Just like in fiction, in every addiction, oh fantasies taking over, awaken me. I've been looking for the conqueror, but you don't seem to come my way. I've been looking for the only one, but you don't seem to come my way. So again, more Luciferian symbolism. Let's move on to the next song here. I'm not really taking the time to explain a lot of this stuff because I'm assuming if you're on my second channel, then you already know most of this stuff anyway, so I don't want to just drivel on about stuff I've already talked about. So if you're completely lost at this point, I apologize. Go watch some of my other videos, but you know, I don't want to completely bore my regular listeners. So Under the Water. I haven't looked at this one. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so this song is basically about her drowning, which is probably a metaphor. Look at this. So many souls that lost control, where did they fall? And to the deep, what do they see? Where did they fall? Where did they fall? I would imagine that this song is kind of her expressing in an artistic way demonic infiltration. And this is how she's expressing it. Okay, let's move on to another one. We have... Actually, you know what? You guys can go through these on your own. Let me go to another music video, because there's one in particular that I really want to get to. Oh, speaking of moth or butterfly symbolism, she has this song called Murder Song, where there's moths on her, in her hair, on her hand, on her shoulder. And she's talking about, in this song, a guy putting a gun to her head. I don't want to play the song because I don't want to get a copyright strike on it. Well, anyway, you guys get the point. So yeah, basically being talking about held at gunpoint while she's covered in moths. More symbolism that maybe she's being forced into something that she doesn't really want to be part of, maybe? I don't know. The song is called All My Demons Greeting Me as a Friend, after all. Okay, let's see. Alright, the one I wanted to show you, though, was this one, I believe. No, it wasn't that one. It was this one, titled Into the Light. And I just want to play a little snippet of the audio for you.
I would rather see the world through the eyes of a child.
So she says, I would rather see the world through the eyes of a child. Aside from the fact that is clearly harkening back to MK Ultra again, the reason that struck me as interesting is because Rihanna... Of course I can't find it right now, but Rihanna recently put out a video where a bunch of the stuff was in Braille. She was wearing this crown here. Shoot, it might be this video. Hold on. Anyway, she recently put out a video. She was in this bedroom, and she was wearing a crown, and the crown had Braille written on it, and if you delved into the Braille on the crown, it says "through the eyes of a child" on the crown, which I found very interesting, especially in relation to this song here. Okay, so here we can see her approaching a piano.
Piano when I was 6, and
she said she started playing piano when she was 6. Now she opens up this diary and she has a picture of a moth, and in her hair she has a butterfly. More MK Ultra symbolism. And then it cuts to this scene, and we see a stack of books, and on the piano we see a tree. And I think this is representing the tree of knowledge, right? More Luciferian symbolism. And then later on in the same video, we see the imagery of spider webs. Cut to her hand dipping into water.
music.
Cutting to sun rays. All Luciferian symbolism when it's used in conjunction with each other, right? One or two of these things isn't a big deal, but when you see these over and over and over again, it's like, okay, something's up here. And then listen to what she says here.
I feel like Alice in Wonderland.
She said she feels like Alice in Wonderland. And then it immediately cuts to this. A picture of a butterfly contained in a little jar. Cut to images of a key, right? Bubbles, butterflies, and pictures from her childhood of her parents. And guys, I'm sorry if I sound, somber about this whole issue, but it's kind of upsetting to me, to be honest with you, because here you have a talented girl who is clearly a victim of Monarch MK Ultra type programming, who is yet another victim for this Luciferian entertainment industry, and it breaks my heart, I mean, just listen to this.
Let them in before they go. I would rather feel alive with a childlike soul.
I mean, guys, how do you listen to that and not, along with all this other symbolism, and not realize what's going on here? It's tragic. It really is. I'm sick of it, I feel bad for these people. That's why I make these videos. Hopefully enough of you guys can wake up, and I don't know, maybe at some point we can put a stop to this. At the very least, we can unite in prayer for these people. Anyway, thanks for listening. God bless.